Welcome back CSE 3200 Yukon Stores. We're in Chapter 21, Video 3, where we are going to finish up using SearchView. In the last video, we started SearchView simply by making a menu where we could access our search. Here we are going to be able to respond to it. So in View Model, we're going to make a handful of changes. Okay, so this line of code right here is going to be changed. All right, it used to say photo repository.search photos, but now we're going to really have two ways where we're going to search photos. This is going to act like our default, and we want something for, all right, we are going to be changing it. We need to listen for those changes and change it on the fly. So we're going to have a couple of spots where we want to do photo repository.search photos. So we're going to make a new function called fetch gallery items that is going to take care of it because we don't want redundant code. This is going to be easier for maintenance. Okay, so this line will be changed from this here, photo repository.search photos putting in query, to fetch gallery items putting in query, which will basically do the same thing. If it's not empty, then we are going to search. If it is empty, then we are just going to call our old version fetch photos, which just went to interestingness. As you saw in the last video, whenever I demonstrated a working version of this, whenever I cleared the search, it just went back to interesting variety of stock photos that they have, or maybe not stock photos, but photos that they say, the AI says, these are going to be our interesting photos for the day. All right, so anyhow, we're going to have a function set query. It is always listening for the changes, so we need to have that inside of a coroutine. So view model scope.launch, and then underscore gallery items dot value is going to equal fetch gallery items. Also calling this, and this function again, if it's not empty, then we're searching the photos. If it is empty, then we are just going to go to the default. We got one more thing to do. In fragment, we are going to use photo gallery view model.set query whenever the user submits a new query through the search view. In the SearchView.onQuery text listener interface is going to provide our way of having this callback. All right, here's what it is going to look like. In the onCreate options menu, we're going to pull the menu item representing the search box from the menu and store it in search item. Then we're going to pull the search view object from the search item using the action view property. Once we have a reference to the search view, we're going to set SearchView.onQuery text listener using the set onQuery text listener call. All right, so let's get into this. All right, so we're here in Photo Gallery View Model, and I've already started the set query. We're listening for constant changes, so it is inside of a coroutine. So view model scope.launch underscore gallery items.value is equal to fetch gallery items, which we haven't written yet, so we'll have an error here. Passing in the query. All right, so let's write this function. Private suspend fun, fetch gallery items. Inside of the parentheses, our query of type string, returning a Boolean. Inside of the curly braces, return if query.isEmpty is not empty. Let's see, braces, curly braces outside of the parentheses. We are going to go with photo repository.search photos, passing in the query. And we got an error so far. Oh, this spelled Boolean, but we need an else here. And so we'll go outside of this curly brace, put an else, begin curly brace, and even if it's do nothing, I would anticipate that that error would go away, but it has not. Photo repository dot fetch photos. So cut and paste, but we'll change this to fetch. Put parentheses, Okay, got an error. Let's see what it is. All right, so when I hover here, it says type mismatch, required list of gallery items. It's finding a Boolean. Okay, yes, that's true. I was not supposed to have a Boolean here. I should have a list of gallery items. Okay, and up here, we're going to change this photo repository.searchPhotos to fetch gallery items. Passing in, let's take out the hard code and put in query. No, we don't take that out, but you know, it was planets. Let's put back something. Let's make insects our default. Okay. All right. So that part is done. Now for the fragment, we are going to have quite a bit more. We are going to go into our onCreate menu items. And the first few lines of code we are going to keep. Val search item of type menu item is equal to menu dot find item, passing in r.id.menu item search. Val search view of type search view is equal to search item dot action view as question mark search view. All right, so I pulled the menu item from the menu and saved it as search item. For search view, I take that search item and I make it an action view of type search view using a delegate nullable. Now that I have a reference to search view, we're going to go and use search view nullable dot set query on text listener inside of the parentheses, we're going to have an object of type search view dot on query text listener and put curly braces. We're going to override two functions. Override fun on query text submit passing in our query as string, returning a Boolean, curly braces, photo gallery view model dot set query to query. And the first time that we do this, it will be set to empty string. It's a Boolean, so we will return true for Success. Now we are going to override fun on query text change. The new text, if any single character is changed, we are going to set this to a new version, nullable string, also returning a Boolean. It will return false. All right, got an error here. Let me find it. All right, this parenthesis right here, cut it, and it goes here. All right, that's it. If we run this, we would basically be looking at the logs, and I didn't put the logs in for sake of brevity. I need to get going, but it should work. But what we're going to do for the last 3 videos is we are going to make sure that our data persists. We're going to make sure that whatever our last query was is going to come up. So whenever I could have brought up the old working version, and if cars was my last query, then it would be filled with cars. That's even after turning the phone off and back on. All right, so that's it for video 3. We'll see you in video 4 soon.